Alright, so I've been on a bender lately, revisiting some older videos I did around the birth of this channel, and despite cringing deeply at myself every time I watch my own videos, I also noticed I was admittedly wrong about a lot of things in some of the earlier Skyrim VR content I did. Specifically, this video right here. Again, at that point, I had only been playing Skyrim VR for maybe a month at most. I didn't really know anything. I was a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed wanderer, absolutely infatuated with VR, and Skyrim VR could do no wrong to me. Now, after a year plus of modding and playing Skyrim VR, I know just how wrong I was and the error of my ways, but fear not, I am here to right the wrongs of my past, correct my errors, and thereby I present to you the real list of my top 5 best mods for Skyrim VR to make your Skyrim VR experience the best that it can be. Strap in, Dragonborn. We're about to take a trip down memory lane. Let's get into it, shall we? Alright, so let me start by saying, while I still use almost all the mods from the original 5 best mods video, a lot of them were not designed specifically for VR. I think only about 2 out of the 5 were. The rest were basically just generic Skyrim mods that were also compatible with VR. So all those mods are definitely good mods, and I still love them and I use them all the time. For the purposes of this video, we're going to ignore them. I want to focus on VR specific mods that either add some quality of life improvements, enhance the functionality of the game mechanics, or just make it immersive as just the way our Lord Immersion MXR intended. These 5 mods will all add something to these game aspects. Ultimately, this list is just my personal opinion, so what do you think? Leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite Skyrim VR mods are so we can have a conversation about it. Number 1. Student gets naked. No, I'm kidding. Number 1, VRIK player avatar. It is admittedly a crime that I went as long as I did without using VRIK player avatar. I'm not a good modder. I have a caveman brain and my understanding of modding is limited and basically reserved to what Vortex can do for me thoughtlessly. Which is exactly why I didn't have VRIK for the longest time, because I tried and failed multiple times to install it and get it to work properly to no avail. Fortunately, it has been updated plenty since then, and it is honestly easier than ever to install and troubleshoot now. VRIK adds a stunning and immersive high-resolution player model to the game so that you can feel like you are actually inside of Skyrim. When you look down, you won't see a floating shadow anymore. You'll see an actual player model that represents your in-game character, including the armor they wear and the weapons they choose to wield. Speaking of weapons, VRIK also includes unique and immersive weapon and equipment slots all over your body, so you can draw and stow weapons as you see fit without having to open that pesky in-game menu whenever you want to equip something or switch weapons. Simply pick them up and place them where you want them holstered on your body and squeeze your controller, and voila. You can now immersively draw and stow all your weapons directly from your body wherever you want them to be. But Gramsy, I hear you asking, how do I just pick up the weapon with my hands? The base game doesn't allow that. Well, my friend, I am glad you asked, because that takes us into the next absolute must-have mod for Skyrim VR. Number 2. Higgs. Higgs are essentially the gravity gloves from Half-Life Alyx, allowing you to yeet items and equipment in-game towards you, but they go a step further than just that. The mod also allows for full interactivity and manipulation of all items in-game, functionally converting Skyrim VR into an actual VR game, where you can pick up weapons, items, drinks, or even whole corpses and do whatever you want with them. Not only does it make Skyrim VR way more fun and fundamentally better in every way, but just further increases the immersion element of the game. You won't be painfully aware that you are in fact inside of a game the whole time, because you can actually meaningfully interact with all of the items, all of the NPCs, and all of the weapons. Speaking of weapons, I think probably my favorite way to play Skyrim VR is with magic, which takes us right into the next mod on our list. Number 3, Spellwheel VR. Spellwheel VR adds a multifaceted and incredibly useful wheel, dinner plate, platter, Whatever this thing is to your hand to give you an ability and the option to manage, equip, unequip your in-game magical abilities, weapons, and even some of your utility items during combat like potions and food. Again, one of my main complaints about base version Skyrim VR is the annoying need to constantly open your menus to do anything, which definitely breaks the immersion of VR. With Spell Wheel, you can switch spells, switch weapons, and more in real time in the middle of combat, not needing to worry about those annoying in-game menus during combat ever again. Simply squeeze your controller in front of you, then hold trigger and release when your hand is on the selected item of your choice. This has to be by far one of the coolest, most useful, and massively quality of life improving Skyrim VR mods I have ever seen or used, and it has become a must run in all of my load orders. Number 4. Magic improvements for Skyrim VR. Since we're still on the topic of magic, I'm going to take it a step further by adding magic improvements as definitely one of my favorite Skyrim VR mods currently. Magic improvements, well, improves the magic in Skyrim VR. It literally just does what it says. Let's face it, Skyrim itself is a 10-year-old game, which means it has 10-year-old or older graphics, which means the base version Skyrim VR magic looks a bit lackluster by today's standards. Magic improvements improves the magic by creating new, updated, and beautiful magic effects for the player to experience. The high-resolution effects look stunning, the lighting on them is incredibly well done, and overall, magic improvements is a no-brainer when it comes to my load orders, especially if I plan on running a magic user of any kind. Number 5. Dual Wield Block VR. I feel like it shouldn't be hard to figure out what this mod does, and in this case it's very much a less is more kind of mod. It's no secret that both in base Skyrim and Skyrim VR, you cannot block if you dual wield anything in any shape or form. Whether it's 2 weapons, 1 weapon and a spell, or 1 weapon and a torch, Dual Wield Block VR fixes that, giving added versatility and functionality to dual wield berserker builds, spell sword builds, and any build that likes to take advantage of having an extra hand available to create solutions during combat on the fly. No longer will you be forced to tank hit after hit with your berserker or spell sword. While I think it is safe to say that most of these builds don't rely on blocking heavily, it is really nice to know you have the option to do so when you're cornered or your back is against a wall. In general, it just adds a really nice element of realism and immersion to the game while increasing the overall utility and functionality of certain builds. And that's it, guys. My top 5 best mods for Skyrim VR. Corrected, vetted, gone through the proper authorities, papers processed, got the stamp approval or something rather. I don't know where I was going with this, to be honest. That's all I have for you. Remember to slap like, subscribe, notifications on, all that good YouTube stuff. It helps me fight the nasty YouTube algorithm so I can keep spreading the good word of virtual reality to the world. Also, there's an official Gramsy Discord link down below, so stop by and say hi to everyone. Additionally, if you'd like to help support the channel, the best way by far is to become a patron. Link also in the description down below. It gets you some small benefits in the Discord, but it more just acts like a tip jar than anything else to help support my ability to continue making people, hopefully, smile and change the world with VR. Also, memberships are now a thing, so that's available now if that's more your speed. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. I got some dungeons to clear. I love each and every one of you beautiful father muckers. Gramsy out.